YouTube, you saucy lot. It's your boy, the Blade Runner. Hope you lot are all right. Anyway, the haircut that I did yesterday, well, there's a haircut and a shave, but this is going to be the haircut part of the video. Anyway, yeah, it's a medium skin fade. We took a bit of length off top, cut into it a little bit, so it's almost like a bit of a long, grown out crop. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget, do subscribe because it makes me a happy bunny. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Right, so we've got this very cool guy in the chair. Now, I've been cutting his hair for a while now. Yesterday's video was of me giving him a shave. Obviously, today it's the haircut. So we're going to whack a gown around him. So we're going to work a skin fade. And we're going to cut a few layers into the top, take it down a little bit. So I've got the Tpob Goblins. Love these clippers. Stuck a grade 2 on it. Just literally at the moment, I'm going to be taking away some of that weight on the sides. Just going to clear the fairways so I can start working a fade. Now, there's a guy the other day, he commented on one of my videos and he wanted to know how he can start demarking the top. I'm going to show you how to do that in a little while when we go into cutting the top section. But as for now, we're just going to be working the fade. So yeah, just clearing away some of that bulk, as I said. So you're just going to follow it round, not putting any hard lines in. As I've said, I think sometimes if you put too much of a hard line in at the beginning, like when you put a skin line in, it can be a bit of a nightmare getting it out. You can get it out, but you know, it's a lot easier if you just don't work with those hard lines in the first place. So work in all directions because that's the way the hair grows. Obviously, when you're clipping, you want to be going against the grain. So I'm taking the grade off. Now I'm just going to work a little bit of clipper over comb. Just take out a little bit of that bulk. Clears away a little bit more of that hair. So when I start working the fade, it just makes life just that little bit easier. Now, I absolutely love these clippers. They're very, very similar to the Starcraft Instincts, but these are the pissed off Barber version. So just going in with the comb and the clippers, working straight through the comb. So for getting rid of bulk when you're working clipper over comb, you want to be going straight across the comb and then working vertically just to take those tiny little bits out. Well, I put the 0.5 on the clipper. Just got it slightly open. I'm just going to start working round. Now, when you're working with the clippers, and I've said this a few times in other videos, a lot of the new barbers, they don't quite understand that, you know, the clipper doesn't just have to be fully open or fully closed. You know, you can work in between. And what I like about these clippers, it's got the click mechanism. Now, when you look at the clippers of old, like the Wild clippers or some of the other brands, it was like a floating lever. With a click lever, you know exactly where you are. I'm just going to start softening the hair down. So what I'm doing, I'm just flicking out the clippers very slightly as I work. So when I used to do videos ages ago, I'd always put the hard skin line in because, well, that's just what we did. Times have changed a little bit and we realised that we don't need to put in such a hard line. Okay, put the grade 1 on the clipper. Just blending that half into the grade 2, what we did at the beginning. So coming underneath that line. Always make sure you've got your beard brush to hand as well. That's another thing I always say. You know, if you don't have a beard brush and you're just working with a comb, you know, you can be combing the hair off the head, but you're not going to get rid of all of it. So you can't really see what you're fading. With a beard brush, it takes away everything. The brush that I use is just like a Jack Dean bristle brush or beard brush. I just think it's fantastic. It works really well. It's comfortable in the hand. Okay, just following it through. Now the problem this dude's got is in the back of his head, he's got, well, it's not exactly craters, but the skin does push in a little bit. So to get it even, you really have to stretch that skin at the back of the head. So I'm just working open and closed with the clippers. I've taken the grade 1 off the clipper. And I'm going to go in with the grade 1.5. You know, years ago we didn't have a half guard or 1.5 guard. We had to do literally everything through the comb. There's a couple of videos ago I did on my mate Jay where I was just working literally with the clipper over comb. And yeah, that's just the way we did it. But you know, the way it is now, you've got the 1.5 guard and the half guard. It makes Barber's life so much easier. So yeah, just flicking it out, feeding it into that grade 2. Okay, so I've got no guard on the clipper now. Now I said you've got to stretch the skin a bit. I misspoke slightly. If you stretch the skin too much, you're going to end up putting more lines in because the skin's just going to bounce back. So I'm not actually going to be stretching it too far. Yeah, just enough to get into all those little crevices. Okay, going back in with the half, and I've got it slightly open. Just catching any slight discrepancies with the fade. So I can see there was a slight discrepancy just behind the left ear. So I'm just going through with the clipper just to get rid of that discrepancy. Yeah, sometimes when you're fading, it's always a really good idea. Take a step back sometimes. A lot of people when they're fading hair, they've got their head so close to the head, they can't actually see what they're cutting. They can't see the big picture. So again, I've just gone with no guard again. Just literally just dusting off any tiny bits. Open that clipper up, just take out any shadows. A lot of time I'm not using the whole clipper blade. I'm literally just working corners sometimes, or I'm just tilting it, so I'm just using maybe like a third of it. Gives you a little bit more control. So I'm just going to go in with the Braun Series 9. Now it's quite an old machine, the Braun Series 9, but I absolutely still love it. It's such, you know, when it's going through the client's head, as I've said on other videos before, a lot of the clients, they say it almost feels like a massage. You know, when you're using something like the Andes foil or the Wild Finale, they're quite aggressive on the head, and what you can actually do is redden the head quite a lot. With the Braun Series 9, that doesn't happen. You know, you're not having to really put much pressure on. And when you are putting pressure on the head, it doesn't actually feel like it to the client. It is a beautiful piece of machinery. So I'm just flicking that out slightly. What I love about this machine as well is, you know, if you're using some of the more traditional box foils, you know, if the hair isn't short enough, and I'm talking about anything over about grade 0.5, it's not actually going to do anything. With the Braun Series 9, you know, you can have it down to about a grade 1.5, and you can still actually bald it right down. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little bit of scissor over comb. Now I'm going to be doing a few videos in the future where I'm going to be going really back to basics, and I'm going to be basically showing how to scissor over comb properly, and I'm talking about keeping that one blade still. I'm also going to be working on actually how to hold your shears in a more comfortable way so you don't slice up the clients. All will be revealed on that video. So I'm using the quartered steels. It's a shear I absolutely love. I always get a bit confused, like in the States they tend to call them shears, in the good old UK we tend to call them scissors. Whatever it is, they've got two blades and they cut hair, so you can call them shears or scissors. So I'm just working all the way around the head. I'm using a slightly finer comb. The reason I'm doing this is because the other comb that I was using is quite wide. You can't really get under the actual hair. When you're using a thinner comb, you can get right under the actual hair with it. So you can actually you can soften that blend down just that bit better. Yeah, as I find with scissor over comb, you can be really precise. You know, you can decide how much the hair is coming off. With clippers, it just seems to obviously it just nabs at everything. So yeah, you can be just. I find with scissor over comb, you just got that little bit more control. So yeah, don't forget when you're working scissor over comb or any technique, you know, every so often, just take a step back, have a look at how it's looking from a distance. You know, you'll be quite surprised. You know, a lot of time you're working so close, you can almost go a little bit like boss-eyed with it. So if you sometimes you just need to just step back, have a look at your work, and then go back in, and then just define as you need to. So just wetting the hair down. Right, so we're going to start working the top section. Now before we do anything else, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the centre profile section. What that will do is that will set you up for the rest of the haircut. So what you will be doing to find your centre profile section, what you do, you take a centre profile line, otherwise known as a parting, and then what you're going to do is you're going to work 1/2 inch either side of that line, and that's going to give you your centre profile section. Now I had a guy the other week, he made a comment on my on one of my videos, basically saying he problems with when he does the top layers, he tends to mark out the top, he tends to have little lines going through it. So if you follow these steps, you're not going to have that problem. Right, so as you can see, I've cut that centre profile section in. That's your first guideline. What you're now going to do is you're going to pick the hair up and you're going to put it up at 90. That will be another guideline, and you're going to follow that all the way through to the front, taking about 3/4 inch sections. If you go too big with the section, that's when you're going to start marking the hair, because you're not going to get an even flow through the layers. As I just said just then, you know, just keep working forwards. You've got your two guidelines. You've got your centre profile line, what you put, or centre profile section that you put in first of all, and then you're now following that second guideline, which was the first one was when you take it actually on the horizontal. So yeah, you've got two guidelines now. Yeah, if you take your guideline just that little bit, so if you take your sections just that little bit too thick, you're not going to get an even cut through the top, and that's when you can mark the hair. So that front section, I'm just over directing back a little bit. Now I'm just going to follow it through on the sides. I'm just going to work forward. Now a really important thing, guys, and I can't stress this enough, as you get towards the front, just direct back a little bit. If you don't, then you're going to take out the fringe area. So when you're about an inch towards the front, just start over directing back a little bit, because yeah, if you don't, you're just going to work totally square, and you're going to work to the shape of the head. All you're going to do is you're going to take out that fringe area. Yeah, just following it all the way around. So look, I'm just directing it back a little bit there. Right, now this is a majorly important part of the haircut as well. It's called cross-checking. So if you cut it on the horizontal, you're now going the other way, and you're putting it up exactly the same angle as what you cut it with first time. If you do this, it's called cross-checking. If you do that, then that will help you also not get marks in the hair. Right, now going in with the thinning shears. But yeah, some people they find that you know, when they lay the hair down flat after they've cut the top layers in, it's not sitting totally smooth. And a lot of the time that is because your section has just been way too big, or you kept changing your angle. So yeah, so literally sections no more than about 3/4 of an inch, and also cross check it afterwards. So just going in, taking out any tiny little bits that I've seen. Now on the front, his hair is quite fine, so I'm not actually, I'm not needing to really texturise the front. If I cut into that front too much, it's just going to make it really wispy. Inevitably, that's going to make it really difficult for him to handle. So a little bit of personalising or texturising through the top. All I'm going to do is just point cut that hair. Yeah, he's got a nice bit of movement to his hair anyway, so I don't need to texturise too much. And then just pulling it up, making sure it's balanced both sides. So again, using the beard brush, take away any hair. Now it's going to blast it through. It's really important, even with working with the hairdryer, it just blasts out any loose bits, because if you don't blast it out and he goes to work and he's looking over his paperwork and he's going to get hair all on it, it's not great. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoy the haircut. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of clay into the hair. We don't want to be over styling it. He likes it more on the natural side. So yeah, one happy bunny. Anyway, take care, guys. I'm out of here. See you later. How's that, you beast?
Fucking awesome.
Oosh. Right then, let's give you a shave.